Welcome back to the Motion Picks. Steven Spielberg's The BFG has something that I feel has been lacking from family-oriented cinema recently. Not since the earlier Harry Potter films has a children's film felt truly magical. Not to say that there hasn't been the occasional excellent live-action family flick like 2014's Paddington, but kids haven't exactly had that equivalent of a Hogwarts, a Narnia, or a Neverland for their collective imaginations to dwell in over the years. And no, I'm not counting last year's Pan, because, well, not many people liked that. I thought it was okay. Now, I'm not saying this adaptation of Roald Dahl's 1982 book is the holy grail of kids' movies. I'm not even going to say it's one of Spielberg's best films, but it certainly does a lot of things right. Let's start with the story. So what's it all about? Sophie, played by Ruby Barnhill, is a little orphan girl who one night, after seeing a giant out her window for some reason, is snatched out of her bed and taken to giant country. But we soon find out that he's actually a big, friendly giant. But the term big is actually relative, seeing as he's actually the runt of a family of massive, mean, monstrously man-munching siblings. Or cousins, I don't really remember. But after bonding over their mutual fear and dislike of those monstrous creatures and exploring dreams, which are actually colourful lights that whiz all over the place, they start to form a friendship. Now, this film is a very faithful adaptation of its source material. Faithful, yes, but it does take a few creative liberties, as most good adaptations do. And for the writing, we have to thank the late, great Melissa Matheson, who unfortunately died on the completion of filming. Matheson and Spielberg previously collaborated on E.T., the Extraterrestrial, which is a good indicator for the kind of film that this is. It's full of innocence and wonderment, and at its core is a very unusual relationship. Now, what most people probably don't remember about E.T. was that it had a fairly slow pace. Not that it was necessarily boring in my opinion, but kids nowadays might think so. Kids' movies nowadays are very different to what they used to be like. You know the good old days when kids didn't have to have everything chucked at their face at every other second just to hold their attention? Oh look, it's a fly. Well, you see, the BFG harkens back to that style of storytelling. And just like those films from those days, this film does have that potential to become a family favourite. I just don't know if most kids nowadays would buy into it. But perhaps kids would get into the pretty visuals. Now, I know for a fact that this film was an immense technical challenge for Steven Spielberg. He was forced to push the boundaries of motion capture technology to create these massive giants. Although I could tell that the giants were computer generated, this didn't actually distract from the story that was being told. The key here is that the live action elements and the computer elements blend seamlessly. And fortunately, what this film does know is that in order to create magic, the secret is subtlety and creativity. Now, one of the things Spielberg does really well is sustain a sense of awe, but he doesn't do this by shoving amazing things in your face constantly. He has a sense of restraint. Through his expert manipulation of light and shadow and very precise timing and cinematography, he knows how to obscure and slowly reveal, so that the effect feels warranted. But more than the visuals, what really made this film magical for me were the outstanding performances. Ruby Barnhill, who played Sophie, is an exceptional child actor. A lot like Neil Sethi, who played Mowgli in this year's The Jungle Book, Ruby had to react against a lot of computer-generated elements that weren't actually there on set. But not only did I never get the impression that she was talking to a ping-pong ball, she just really sold that character. But seriously, Mark Rylance as the BFG. He absolutely hits the nail on the head. I mean, if that character from the book actually existed in real life, that performance was it. Mark Rylance won an Oscar for being the best thing in Bridge of Spies, and seriously, that movie had Tom Hanks in it. And now, he's the best thing in this. Man, you keep doing your thing. Overall, the BFG had a lot to offer. It even made me laugh at a fart joke. I mean, these days, who can do that? Although it may not be the creme de la creme as far as Spielberg's concerned, it's still comfortably sensational. I probably did enjoy it more than most people. Maybe I'm just partial to any film that has John Williams providing the music. I don't care what you say, that guy is a musical genius. Have you seen the BFG? What did you think? Was it basically fairly generic or brilliantly fun, generally? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and hit subscribe for the full Motion Picks experience. Till next time.